Good evening from InvestSharp. This is Randy Smotone with your Tuesday, February the 16th market update. On the economic front, the Treasury International Capital showed foreign net inflows to long-term U.S. securities rose by $63.3 billion, which continues to be strong. The housing market index was better than expected, coming in at 17. The expectations was for 14. On deck for tomorrow is housing starts, industrial production, Treasury budget, and the prior FOMC minutes will be released. The dollar was down. Gold, silver, copper, and oil were all very strong today. So we're looking at the UUP here. And the dollar pulled way back today. Commodities are strong. As you look at the histogram here, the MACD kind of showed you that the dollar was not probably going to continue that higher, at least that much longer, since the MACD kept falling as we were going up. Let's take a look at the, light sweet crude futures. We're up $2.88 to settle at $77.01 a barrel. West Texas Intermediate Crude Point and Figure Chart. We are on a sell signal. We'll go back on a buy signal at 79 when we take out the prior column of X's. Also have a bearish trend line there, so we'll see if we're stuck there at 79 or if we can break out higher above it. Let's go to the Dow. The Dow closed up 169 points to 10,268. S&P closed up 19 points to 1,094. The Nasdaq closed up 30 points to 2,214, and the Russell closed up 10 points to 620. S&P had the largest percent gain of 1.8%. The Nasdaq had the smallest percent gain, up 1.4%. We did have kind of a pretty light volume across the indices today, but we can go higher on light volume as we often do. So here we're looking at the Dow. We're probably going to have some resistance here around this 10,300 on the Dow. We also have the 30-day moving average above it and the 50, and they could serve as resistance. And they're actually a little higher than that. They're about 10,375 is the 50, so we'll be watching that. See if we can actually get up there and take that out. But another, again, the MACD was looking good. We kept falling, but the MACD, was kind of making higher lows. S&P looks the same. I was really impressed. I didn't think we could have a day like this. Not today. I thought we'd have a decent day today. I just didn't think it'd be that strong. I thought we'd be stuck around this between this 1,085, 1,090. It would be resistance on the S&P, but that's not true. So the next level to watch here is going to be the 1,103 level, and also we've got the 30 and 50 overhead around the 1,108 level. So we need to watch those areas for resistance. Look at Goldman Sachs for a financial. Looking pretty good today. Didn't have tons of volume, but it was up. Financials did get some bids today, so it's come down. Possibly could be a triangle here. Has broke above the 14 level, which was prior resistance on the XLF, so that's looking pretty good for the financials. Let's go look at the McClellan oscillator. So the NYSE McClellan oscillator. So we're actually bought, even though it's only 33.17 today after the rally, we are now a little overbought. We have rolled over here before in this area, so I don't know how many days up we'll have. I mean, we can go easily into 60s and 80s, overbought, but we'll see how strong the market is. So we are a little overbought. So I know traders are already taking some profits into this rally, and so we'll see how high we can go before we. But it looks pretty strong. So I'm thinking, I don't think it's going to roll over tomorrow, but it's looking pretty good. So I think we'll get some more here, but. So we'll just be careful and not start loading up on longs. Hopefully you have some on already and you've been taking some profits. So let's look at gold. Gold looking good. It has broken out higher above its continuation wedge. Silver has got some resistance around this 1580, 75 area, something like that. But had a lot of volume coming in. It is pretty oversold, so I'm not surprised. The VIX. The VIX was lower today by about 2%, so we'll see if it hasn't, it didn't drop below the 30 here. We'll see if it takes out the 30 here. MACD's turned lower, so let's see. Let's look here what we got. Yeah, we're getting kind of oversold on the VIX, so we'll see how low it can go here before we get a bounce on the VIX. Let's look at these sectors. All 16 sectors we follow finish in the green today. The bank and the gold index were up the most, up around 2.9%. Healthcare was the weakest today, up 0.88%. I talked about this last Friday, I believe. I notice sometimes where there's this rotation from percent gainers to percent losers. Often these percent losers, they'll be down here for one day or a couple of days, and then they wind up to the top. That's what happened to the bank index. The bank index was the weakest for like 2 days in a row. And I'd mentioned Friday to watch the banks because they probably get a bid next week, and they did, of course, right here, because these institutions like to buy what's down. They don't like to buy what's up. They buy low, sell high. They always do. Unlike a lot of traders, how we'll buy breakouts, and because we're in and out so quickly, it's hard for them to move that fast in and out of things. So they always buy down. So often look here to see what's going to move next. All right, let's go to ChartWatch. Go through some real quick. A lot of these are from the watch list. This SDT, if State Street's going to look really good if the financials keep going higher. Morgan Stanley has broken out higher above its, has a falling wedge, continuation wedge. JP Morgan's looking pretty good here, broke out above its downtrend line. Wells Fargo looks like it's working on this ascending triangle pattern. Navios Maritime, a lot of the shippers got a pretty good bid with lots of volume today. It's looking pretty good. Genco Shipping, big volume, big jump in it. Some energy, RRC Resources, looks like it's got a nice little triangle here. Broke out a little above it today with lots of volumes. Keep an eye on that one. ExxonMobil looks like it's coming off the bottom down here finally. And it's kind of got, well, you draw up here or here, and you got kind of a wedge going on it too. So might get a few days uppage on it. Southwest Energy, been watching this one, looks good. APA broke out today out of its falling wedge pattern with lots of volume, looking good. Quicksilver Resources, been watching this, looks like it has a longer term ascending triangle, looks good. A lot of steel stocks are looking good. Been watching X. AK Steel looks good. All these commodities keep going higher. Nucor's finally coming off the bottom here and getting a bid with lots of volume. Del Monte Foods, nice breakout on it today. Like this, kind of built a nice base, lots of volume coming in it. Phone's ringing, busy, later. Okay. CMI, this is just a really strong stock that probably needs to be bought on dips. So's NetLogic, this thing just keeps flying. Darden Restaurants, it's looking really good. It's got a nice base under it. Another one of these that I guess go to a year. It needs to be bought on dips, on pullbacks. Looking really good. We've been watching this one as well. Texas Roadhouse, nice base, broke out huge volume today. Is nice. We've been watching this one as well. RIM has some resistance here, but probably until it has tons of volume on selling, it's probably a good dip buy. Home Depot's looking good for higher prices, broke higher today. Another one that probably buy on dips. Home Builder, KB Home went higher today. Liz looking good today. Protective Life's looking good. Most of these, especially the last, I don't know, 8 or so, probably from the watch list. Breakout of AMX today from the watch list. C-Trip from the watch list keeps going higher. Plum Creek Timber has some pretty strong support right here at 35. So I like it. It's not far off its support. Enbridge breaking out higher. IP, I think someone bought a huge block of calls that are several months out today. So this thing got a huge bid up today, and we've been watching this one as well. All right, let's go take a look at the point and figure, the current market signals. We follow the point and figure charts of the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P. The huge rally today put the Dow and the NASDAQ back on buy signals. So all three are back on buy signals now that the Dow, NASDAQ, and the S&P. S&P never did go on a sell signal. We have a new price objective for the Dow as of today, 10,800, and the NASDAQ new price objective per the point and figure charts is 2,420. All right, so let's see how it goes. So far, so good. It was a great day. Like I said, we'll see how many more days we get here. We have rolled over from this area before on the McClellan, and maybe not this time. We'll see. So that's it for today. Thanks for joining me, and remember to always invest sharp.